That's what makes sense. Yeah. Okay. All right. Hey, what's up? It's Steph on Stefs Rock Show on Spotify. We've got Eddie of Evolutis. Am I saying that? I said it.
You've got it. You've nailed it.
Okay, I got nervous. Sorry, we were just talking before we started. I might be on the spectrum, but that's fine. That's something I'm still exploring. So you guys are from Los Angeles, LA, and newly formed last summer. Tell me how the band came together.
Yeah. So in terms of us all being from LA, a couple of us are actually from New England. So I'm from like Boston area. Grew up just outside of Boston in a place called Somerville, and then our guitar player is from New Hampshire.
Nice.
But the other guys, I think for the most part, they're all from out here. And
okay, so you now are in LA. And then how did you guys all meet though to start the band?
So I was in a band with my guitar player and bassist for maybe a couple of years, like right after COVID and all that silly shit. Where am I allowed to swear on this, by the way?
Yes. Yeah, it's just a podcast. Good. You can say fuck, balls, everything.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
All right. So I was in a band with those two guys, Sean, the bassist, and Vinny, the guitar player. Right around after COVID, when all that shit was kind of just dying down. And I was originally out here for film industry shit. Like I did acting and all that stuff. But
like real acting or like porn acting?
What kind of acting? Well, you know, we don't talk about the porn acting. That's kind of, I was under a different alias. You might see my face, different name, but
yeah.
But
Monster Cox 4, that was actually you, but they didn't show the rest.
Yeah, Backdoor Sluts 9, you know, all the good ones.
I lived in LA. Sometimes you got to take the jobs that come your way, you know? You don't know what you're getting into when you get to the casting couch. So
yeah, we did a parody on Jurassic Park, Your Ass Licked Park. It was very good, you know. So it was
I would watch that.
Shaping Ryan's Privates, all those good things. But no, so I used to be like an actor. I did a couple of things, and when COVID happened, just the industry shut down, not too dissimilar to now post strikes. But I don't know, when that kind of went down, I started writing music and learning how to use, you know, like a DAW, the stuff that you record music with. And met those guys, and we were in a band for a couple of years, but for different reasons, things were just moving way too slow with that. And we played a bunch of shows around LA, but, you know, different reasons why it didn't work out. But myself and those two guys were like, all right, we still want to do this. And we believed in the songs and I guess the overall talent of the three of us. And so we were like, well, we needed a drummer that can play some of the complex stuff that, you know, I've been writing, but then can add to it even more, because I'm kind of like a drummer when I'm writing.
Don't say that. It's all mentality, baby. Just say you're the best.
Yeah, I'm the greatest drummer on earth and all, but you know, I needed somebody that could play what I write, you know. But then we have a lot of electronics in our music, which, you know, I do a lot of the programming for, but we always wanted kind of the live element of like, yeah, there might be a backing track going on and playing, you know, some of the elements that you can't just have like 50,000 synthesizers going off at once, but we still wanted someone who could play certain lead parts live. And that's how we met our keyboard player, Leon, who's able to kind of run the backing track rig live, but then also, you know, do stuff on the keys and kind of create a different vibe to the live show from what you end up hearing when you're streaming it or whatever the hell it is that you're listening to our songs on.
Whose idea was it for the photo shoot where you're crossing the street and some people are dressed in a tux for a wedding and some are in like swim trunks?
Yeah, so in terms of the attire, that was me. The moment itself was just our photographer, Zach, who is an old buddy of mine from the acting days, that used to, you know, film my auditions and shit like that. But we hit him up and I was like, hey, let's go to downtown LA, kind of near that little financial sector, because I thought it was sort of funny I wanted us to look like we were a bunch of disheveled fucking losers. Like just kind of like, like wasters, just like ties all fucked up. But like it looks like we're trying to belong on something like Wall Street, or like we're working for some big bank in the area, but we clearly don't look like we fit in.
You like woke up hungover on someone's couch at the party in LA and you're walking home, and it's like, whoa.
That's the vision. But the moment itself was kind of more in the moment with Zach. He basically just saw us crossing the street, going from one location to the next, and he was just like, oh shit. And he caught that moment. And I noticed he was shooting, so I just like started acting like an idiot, like I tend to. But
as someone that's done like acting and entertainment in LA, have you ever been invited to a Diddy party?
Not a Diddy party.
Okay.
If only. Can you imagine?
Only. Or Harvey Weinstein. Did he ever want you in a hotel room?
No. Sadly, well, if he wanted me in a hotel room, it would have been pretty interesting. I'm not sure. I'm not so sure I'm his type.
No. Yeah.
I'm a little masculine looking.
He likes young chicks.
He does. Yeah. And I could have played that role.
You being a boy and me being an old chick, we no longer have threats, either of us, of being raped. Like nobody wants us in these categories. It's cool.
Not a chance.
And I'm just like, it's odd. Like getting old, I'm like not worried about a casting call somewhere, because they're just like, we don't want old bones. Like they want them fresh right off the boat in LA, like 18 to 25.
I don't know. I think you're selling yourself short. I think there's definitely some predatory monsters.
There's people that like old cougars that have been rang out.
Yeah. Now they're worried because you're not going to be as naive. They're going to be like, this chick, she's going to fucking know what we're up to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, oh my God, I have to ask you, because I'm obsessed with Tim Dillion. He's my favorite podcaster of all time. And you said Nicest Parts of Hell, the song was inspired by a Tim Dillion rant. Like I love his rants. Yeah. I listen to them all the time.
Yeah.
Tell me more about that.
I love Tim as well. I think he's such a good mix of like irreverent and sardonic humor, and it's very clever and shit, but he's also, well, I guess that's it, right? Like he's funny as shit and you'll fucking laugh your ass off if you have a pretty dark sense of humor, but he's also brilliant. And
he's brilliant. That's what people like. He'll deliver actual news and very intelligent, high intellect information, but in the funny, deliverable way that I'll want to learn about something coming from Tim that I don't want to learn about from a school professor. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah. And oddly enough, you'll probably get a more truthful perspective on it coming from him too, in a bizarre way. Like it'll have
he's no bullshit.
Yeah. Exactly. He's very East Coast. Like I knew a lot of guys like him growing up in Boston, and I know he's like a Long Island guy, but it's just very, and I've met people out here like that too, but he's just that kind of irreverent sense of humor dude, kind of reminiscent of like the South Park days and stuff, which they're still going on, but
no BS. And his rants for days. He'll just like make fun of everybody though. Every single group gets hound on from him.
Right.
Nobody's safe. I love it.
Right. Yeah. There's no bias. It's just kind of like, well, this is what it is. So fuck that shit. I'm going to make fun of it. And when I wrote that song, the lyrics, it was, we did Virus first. And that song was a little bit more of a reflection on like, I kind of like, I think everybody to some degree has issues with depression shit. And I was like, I wanted to write a song about that had like more personal accountability. Like, how am I responsible for that bullshit? Like perpetuating depression stuff. But I didn't want to just be, a band that's constantly like me, my shit, self-reflect, I suck, fucking this. And, that song, I don't remember if it was a specific rant from Tim or if it was more just inspired by the style of what he does, but something about this like concept of like the nicest parts of hell being reserved for like, the people that sort of run the world in one way or another, whether that's through being a politician and a lawmaker, or by being, you know, super ridiculously wealthy, whether that's a corporation or a billionaire or, you know, whatever. In a lot of ways, it kind of reflects, like, I think the very like populist movement that, you know, is clearly going on right now in the country. A lot of people are sick of kind of the neoliberal bullshit.
Yeah.
And so I loved this idea of like being very cheeky with the notion of like these people like gallivanting and going on little vacations and staying in little retreats and walking the paths of these lovely, but then they're surrounded by like fucking hellscapes and like, you know, people like dying on the fucking street and starving and just fire on the hills. And so I like this idea of like they're strolling through while they're surrounded by the hellscape that they've all created for all of us, but still enjoying the nicest parts of it, you know?
Yeah, no, I vibe with that. I love Tim posted just the other day after the election. I guess one of his friends that he knows in LA posted the suicide prevention hotline and then went out. Did you see that? And then was at a 5-star restaurant posting,
Yeah.
you know, at a
Like a
Michelin
sample menu.
star restaurant, a sample menu. And it's like, wait, are you going to kill yourself or are you going to spend $200 for a 5-course small meal? Like,
Right.
is happening
I'm so distraught. It's so bad for me right now that I have to go to Nobu.
Yeah.
I have to go to Nobu right now and taste all the sushi.
Yeah, we're gonna go to Gladstone's in the pregame and have some drinks and then Nobu, and we're having a hot time. Like, this is really rough. Great for me.
I'll see you at Soho House.
Yeah.
Make sure you.
Yeah, like it is funny. I just think everybody takes everything too crazy and serious in the world and just needs to calm down and like understand. Like if you got your health, everything's cool. It's
right.
fine. I don't know. People are tripping. Hey, so how was the whiskey on Halloween? I love the whiskey at Go-Go.
Yeah, it was good. So in the old band, we had played there a couple times, and even those shows went very well. But this was our first show as Evolutis. You know, like I said, we're a new band, so we don't have like some huge following. We've gained like a decent amount in some like European countries and stuff, and a couple in South America, and those people are awesome. But you know, we're still trying to kind of get our stuff out there. And so we knew it wasn't going to be like some packed house for us or anything, but we were like, we're going to go out there. And, you know, we really worked hard to make sure that the set was like tight and just sounded good and everybody was prepared. And even though, you know, nobody there probably knew who the hell we were other than the people in LA that knew us, you know, it went really well. And we're very like self-reflective and honest with ourselves. So it's one of those things where like, okay, that went really fucking well. I think all of us kind of, when we reflected on the show, I was like, I don't think that was my best personal performance, but that was the best show as a unit I've ever been a part of. And all the guys kind of felt that way too. They were like, yeah, not my best personal performance, but like as a unit, holy shit. And we were like, okay, we can improve on these things. And, you know, in terms of like the live setup and, you know, pageantry and all, you know, all that stuff, stage presence. But in terms of like how the music went, it was like fucking great. And I always say in LA too, you kind of know, not that this doesn't happen elsewhere, but in particular in LA, I've noticed that people, when they don't really like something or they just kind of are like, about it, after you play, they kind of come up to you and go like, yeah, dude, that was great. No, yeah, dude, that was awesome. That was sick. That was like, no, that was really good, dude.
Yeah.
And then when you actually kick ass, they come up to you and go like, dude, what the fuck, dude? Like, where the fuck? That was fucking sick, bro, dude. What's your fucking name again, dude? Like, and that was the kind of reaction we were getting after that show. Because
legit.
Yeah. And you know, like the whiskey's one of those places too where you know, they see so many bands come in, and obviously a lot of them are ones they've either never heard of or whatever. And I remember I was looking out at like the bartenders that were there and the security guys, and I'm seeing them like fucking getting into it and shit. And I'm like, okay, we're doing good. We're doing
legit. That's the sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I just discovered some new bands at the Whiskey in June that I had by the show, and I'll be back down. Are you guys going to hit the Rainbow Party, the 53rd anniversary in April? I always go back down for the annual party, and it's going to be hosted by Richmond High Guys, and Faster Pussycat's going to be there, and Quiet Riot. So I definitely am going to hit a couple shows at the Whiskey April 11th, 12th, 13th, and go to the Rainbow anniversary party. So hopefully you guys can pop in to the Whiskey or the Rainbow, and we can all have drinks and celebrate 53 years. Yeah.
Dude, that'd be badass. We always go to the Rainbow after we play a show down there. So I'd be stoked to see you down there. And maybe we can try to you send me the dates so that I'll be like, hey, let's fucking line up a show.
Yeah. 11th to the 13th. And so I hosted Miss Rainbow for 3 years at the I Got Girls Naked there. So it was fun. Yeah. It was such a good with Ron Jeremy and back in the day. It was a fun, classy experience in my life that I hold dear to my heart.
An elegant soiree.
Yes. A lot of porn stars came to compete for Miss Rainbow. So I got to help them show off their best qualities in front of other people at the bar.
as one does.
Yeah. Can we do fun random questions?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Heck yeah.
Okay. That's a NorCal thing. I'm in North. You say heck yeah and hell yeah.
Heck yeah, dude.
Heck yeah. Movies or music?
Oh, fuck.
I know.
I think music, the difference between the two is movies, you'll see sort of like it's narrative based and you're watching. So there's something that's like, you might connect to a very specific moment, maybe even deeper than you might certain songs. But I think music, in terms of speaking to like everyone's soul, and having something, well, it doesn't matter what genre you like. If you like fucking reggae, classical, or metal, like there's something out there for everybody. So I think maybe music is something that speaks to us as human beings on some deeper level that I don't even know if we understand, the way that we can kind of understand movies.
Yeah, music is therapy. And I think what you said, just what popped in my brain is music, I think we can connect with faster and more often, and movies we connect with in deep. But you're right, there's usually like a part of the movie that's maybe a 5-minute scene that you wait that whole movie for, and you're like, oh, dude, that's me. I felt that way or been there.
Totally.
Okay, crazy chick or normal girl?
Okay, so
it's hard.
I'd say I'm a fairly seasoned lad in terms of crossing all of the spectrum on that. And crazy's very fun. It's very fun, and it has all of the. It's an adventure. It's like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's thrilling, but you're also kind of like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
And I think normal girl, I think I've never been interested in like fully normal, like I need some kind of quirk, some kind of unique, whether that's some kind of like introspective view on the world or allowing yourself to be kind of like goofy and silly and funny. That's something. So normal, I would say like, no, not interested in that, but crazy versus kind of like stable but unique in terms of long term, then stable and unique would be.
I like the way stable and I mean, I got my tires slashed. That's a little too much before. So, but they're of course a good time when they're doing shit like that,
Oh, yeah. It's an adventure and it leads to many stories and you can write good songs about that. But
yeah, I think when you're younger, it's more exciting to date super insane, or you don't see the red flags quite as quickly. And so you're like, this is just a really very intense person. And then 3 months into it, you're like, no, they're going to kill me. I gotta go. This is
you'll proactively shut off the mechanism in your brain that gives off the red flags. You'll be like, no.
Yeah. If they're so hot, below the waist is running the show for me. And I'm like, who cares? They're a felon.
Oh, yeah.
They are gorgeous. I'm sure
they're like
The person they robbed was probably a bad person. That's it.
Yeah. You start justifying the horrible shit they've done.
Yeah.
You're like, maybe, I don't know, maybe they were a piece of shit and needed it.
Yeah. Maybe they stole the money like Robin Hood and gave it back to people in the poor that needed it.
That's right. So probably not, but
you never know. Yeah. No, but they probably have a great dick too if they're that,
right.
You know,
that's a big part of it. One of the, you know.
Okay. Would you rather road trip or flight?
Oh, road trip. For one, I never got on a plane until I was like 23 years old. Oh, and wow. So even when I got on one, I was like, motherfucker. And I don't.
Not cozy. Not cozy.
No, yeah, that's the other thing, right? You're smushed in between like, you know, two people, and God forbid someone's one of those people that's like, so what brings you to, you know, fucking Wisconsin this week? And you're like, leave me the fuck alone. You know, and then on top of it too, just, I can't get out of my head, even though I know statistically planes are like,
I know this. Yeah.
They're so much safer, but I think it's the finality of it where it's like, if something wrong happens, fucked. You're beyond fucked.
Yes.
You know? And road trip, you can get out, you can stretch your legs, you can go like, oh, let's try this fucking place to eat, and go, oh, look at that quaint little fucking thing on the side of the highway. And, you know, so I think that's a little bit more my speed.
I get that. I like both are okay, but I get a little flight anxiety. It's strangers. You're in a small box. You're closed in. Same thing. I don't know how to fly. So if something's going wrong, I wouldn't even know how to assist or help or.
Right. You're totally out of control too. You're just like, fuck.
Yeah. I like a little bit of control. I even like to drive. I like to be the driver. I love driving, even long distance. I don't know. I don't trust other drivers, especially women.
Yeah, I like it.
I really don't. I don't trust
You're like this bitch. I don't know.
Bad. Okay, would you rock sandals or Crocs?
Oh, fuck. You know,
sorry,
I've never owned Crocs.
Me too.
Pretty fucking cool. Maybe what I would get is like a bright orange pair of Crocs, because I'm a Dutch citizen as well. So I'd be like, I'm a Dutchie. So I'd be like, yo, give me some of them bright ass orange, can see them from a mile away Crocs. And then I think they're a little bit more versatile than sandals. You can kind of like go like, oh, I'll put it in fucking power mode and have that little back strap on your heel and be like, do some fucking Muay Thai on some bitches or something.
Now I gotta buy some Crocs. You're selling it for me.
Yeah, man. I mean, if the people at Crocs are looking for someone to speak for them, you know.
Yeah, a sponsor, Eddie Troy, is available in Los Angeles too.
Yeah, the band
Croc model.
Yeah, the band Evolutis is. We don't have any endorsements for equipment other than Crocs. So
yeah, just Crocs. No amps, no guitars.
No.
But you guys are Croc representatives.
Yeah.
I love it. And then if you could only pick between tattoos or piercings.
On myself, or are we talking like for similar to the crazy? On myself, I actually don't have either. I'm like
no way.
Yeah,
neither?
Like, I know it's not very metal of me.
And you just played it though. No, I think that is metal of you. I think that's the trend. The cool thing with like the hot young generation, because I date really young guys, so that's how I stay up to date with what's going on. They're all not getting tattoos. Yeah, I have to stay hip. So they're all not getting tattoos and piercings. Of course. This is just for the podcast, for research.
Of course, for research. And you're like, I'm not even that into them. It just helps.
Well, I'm into all of them. I like them all. They aren't getting tattoos or piercings. It's like not cool because everyone has them, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I think for me it was like the piercings. Maybe maybe the ears or something. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything on me to pierce that would be that interesting. As I don't know if I got like an eyebrow or something. Like I think we've got guys in the band that have some piercings, and there's definitely some dudes with tattoos. But like I think Leon, our keyboard player, might have a couple piercings, and then him and Vinny, our guitar player, have tattoos and shit. But for me, I think when it came to tattoos, it was like I was honestly always interested in getting one. I just didn't know what the fuck I would get. I was like, I almost got one once, and then I was like, that's fucking stupid. Like the one that I was gonna get, and looking back at it, I'm like, yeah, that was fucking stupid, because it was
No,
like,
they're all stupid. If you wait past 20 to get one, they say you won't get one because your brain is developing and you're thinking, reasoning that this is not a good idea, right?
yeah.
I started at 15 and I'm like Tinkerbell on my back, so Playboy bunny on my hip. This is so cool. And like, this is fucking hilarious. And I just like to look at them now and be like, that was retarded.
Are there any that you had that you were like, I'm gonna change this?
I've covered up some. Yeah. I got my sorority on my back that I didn't know I was in Tri Delta, that's also the Zelda Triforce symbol. And I was at Comic-Con in San Diego and I had like a low pants and some nerd came up and freaked out and they're like, you have the Zelda Triforce? I was like, no, it's for Tri Delta, my sorority. And I didn't know it's for both. So I got that switched up. I've gotten 4 tattoos with guys that I've left on me. I just think it's kind of like, just more, I don't do names or anything, but symbols or something funny. I like being like, at this moment in my life, I wanted to do this silly, stupid thing and it's there. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I do think at times, like similar to when we were talking about, crazy versus normal with women or men in your case. I think tattoos, similar to like the crazy thing, it's like kind of makes for a good story. If someone's like, why the fuck do you have like a dream catcher like above your ass? And you'll be like, oh, let me tell you that fucking story.
Yeah.
So I think that is one cool thing. And I'm robbed of that. I don't have that.
It's never too late. You can always go get a shitty tattoo tonight.
What would be your recommendation of my first shitty tattoo?
Get like a turtle, like a Hawaiian turtle. No, get a butterfly. Apparently the butterfly is the number one slut symbol. Like if a girl has a butterfly tattoo, which I don't yet, I need to do that, then you're like this giant whore. So
fuck yeah. Where should I get my first I'm a slut butterfly? I want that.
Should you do tramp stamp?
Maybe. That might be a good spot for it.
From the back, be like, look at my tramp stamp.
I'm like, are you ready?
Yeah.
I've been a caterpillar all this time.
I've been waiting to show you. I'm out of the cocoon and I'm now a butterfly. Or no, I think like the whole transformation of the butterfly, like the flying down the side of the wings close and they slowly open down your side. That's kind of hot.
The whole timeline.
Or tribal on the upper back. I like it when an old guy has tribal, like from the late 90s on his upper back. It's like, I need to wrap it up. That's all I think. Like I'm about to get chlamydia. Tribal tattoo guy.
Ooh, this is something venereal, but I want it.
I love it. Well, dude, tell us about the band, where we can find you guys and all the good stuff.
Okay. So the main focus we've been on, we've been mostly focusing on trying to get songs out. I kind of stumbled into being like the producer and mixing engineer of the last year. So, it's a lot of that's on my shoulders. So I've been making sure we get out songs fairly regularly. We've got 3 that are almost done. So when you follow us on our social media, don't be alarmed that there's not too much video content, which seems to be so fucking important in music.
Gotta make a reel. You guys need a TikTok dance now or some shit.
That's right. Yeah, I gotta do some corny ass shit that gets people to go like, oh wow, guess which one's the drummer. But
that's like a thing.
But so there's not a ton on there yet in terms of video content, but we have an Instagram that just says Evolutis Official or @EvolutisOfficial. And where we're currently at is we've got 2 songs out. We've got 3 songs that are almost done, and then we've got a fuckload of songs that we're working on currently. So once we get probably 1 or 2 more of those singles that are like that fucking close to being done, we'll start hitting the video shit pretty hard and starting up like TikToks and fucking YouTube and all that shit. Yeah, we just wanted to get like a little bit more of a catalog than just 2 fucking songs out there before we start being like, look at who the fuck we are. We're so important.
I get it, dude. Well, thanks so much for stopping by Stefs Rock Show and come by the podcast. Come back again in April in LA. You guys got to come by the Rainbow and the Whiskey and come hang out.
Dude, I definitely will. And hopefully by then I'll have a slutty butterfly above my ass.
Dude, I hope you do too. And I hope I have a couple young guys with me that I can introduce you to. Let's fingers crossed.
Fuck yeah.
Manifest
can
it
you
now.
have them on both on like leashes?
Yes,
like this?
That is
and then
what
that
I
way
love.
I'll spot you from a mile. I'll be like, oh, there's Steph. She's got
These are my little dogs that I'm
and you're
walking.
like, come here, meet Edward.
Heather, eat the cheese balls. They're my favorites.
Right.
On the ground.
Good boy. Good boy.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you, Steph. It was nice meeting you.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you too.